Welcome again to my channel where we discuss the science behind this world of medicine. So today we are going to understand the role of steam inhalation, normal saline, xylometazoline, which we understand under the brand name of Otrivin, and the role of azelastine and steroids in nasal congestion, sinusitis, or blocked nose. So what exactly happens is people who have sinusitis or who have common cold generally have a blocked nose or a runny nose, which is associated with or without a headache. Now what happens is if there is an allergen or there's a sort of allergic reaction or there is an infection, there is a subsequent reaction to that which is called as inflammation. This inflammation releases substances or causes the blood vessels in the nostrils to ooze out mucus or ooze out liquid. This liquid, if it is thick, causes a blocked nose. If it is thin, it causes a runny nose. And in some cases, when this mucus accumulates in the paranasal sinuses or the frontal sinuses, it may cause headache or an eye ache. So this is what exactly happens in case of a blocked nose or a runny nose. There is accumulation of mucus, thick mucus or a thin mucus due to inflammation caused by an infection or an allergy reaction. Now the symptomatic treatment of this is divided under two headers. The first header is which clears off the passageway, the nasal passageway on a regular basis. And the second treatment modality is a treatment modality that can reduce the oozing out of mucus or oozing out of liquid into the nasal passageway. Now, in the first modality comes is steam inhalation and normal saline. Steam inhalation is warm and moist air. Now, what warm and moist air does is when you take steam inhalation, this warm and moist air generally breaks down the mucus. It makes the mucus thin so that it comes out easily, relieving of your blocked nose. This warm and moist air also, when you do a steam inhalation, helps in removing of the allergens, irritants, or the inflammatory substances that are accumulated inside your nostrils. And hence, it helps in clearing your passageway also, along with removal of this irritants, and hence eases out the irritation in the nose. So what exactly happens is when you do a steam inhalation and you are having a blocked nose, sometimes mucus comes out. And this oozing out or removal of mucus also sometimes helps in relieving of your headache because the mucus that is stored in paranasal sinuses also becomes thin because you're giving heat to that mucus. When you provide heat with a moist air, it automatically thins the mucus. Now the second header in this was normal saline. What normal saline does is it's basically a hypertonic solution, so it extracts more water. So when you have a blocked nose and you give normal saline to your nostrils or you take a normal saline spray, this will bring water to the thick mucus, making it thin so that its removal becomes easy. Also, normal saline drops or normal saline spray inside the nostrils helps in removal again of the allergens, irritants, inflammatory substances that may have accumulated in the nostrils. Also, normal saline helps in keeping the nostrils moist. This is particularly helpful if you have a runny nose. What may sometimes happen is your nose may become dry sometimes, and normal saline helps in maintaining the moisture of your nostril nasal passageway. Now what happens is these are the two headers, but we need to understand that when you have a nasal congestion, acute nasal congestion, wherein there is strong inflammatory reaction, wherein the blood vessels are oozing out mucus at a very fast interval and at a very large volumes, if you give normal saline at that stage, The clearance may happen, but immediately the blood vessels ooze out a lot of mucus. And hence, it sometimes does not help to give normal saline or a steam inhalation directly when you have an acute phase of mucus production, which is generally characterized by a blocked nose and headache. Now, in that cases or in those cases, what we have to do is stop the mucus production. So for those things, we have two kinds of drugs. The first of them is xylometazoline. And in India, we recognize that under the brand name of Otrivin drops or the Otrivin nasal spray, which is having xylometazoline, which basically is a vasoconstrictor. What exactly it does is when you take xylometazoline drops or spray, it constricts the blood vessels. The blood vessels that are around your nose supplying blood, they constrict. When they constrict, there is less of blood supply and less of mucus production. So what happens is whatever mucus production has already happened, it clears off in 5 to 10 minutes. And after that 10 minutes, you do not have more mucus production. And hence, this helps in relieving the blocked nose immediately. Within 10 to 15 minutes, it acts and clears your nasal passage, and there is no more mucus production because your vessels which are oozing out mucus or liquid have been constricted and are no longer able to ooze out the mucus. Now, this is particularly helpful, but a strong disclaimer is that there are two major side effects. The first is it is known to cause a reverse congestion. So when this effect of xylometazoline drops down after 12 hours, it will cause an acute exacerbation of the congestion. It will cause dilation of the blood vessels and your blocked nose may return with more vigor. The second is a long-term usage of xylometazoline causes atrophic rhinitis. We need not worry about what atrophic rhinitis is, but you need to understand that xylometazoline drops should only be taken once your medicine practicing doctor has prescribed you, and you should take them as per the frequency described by your doctor and should not be taken on your over-the-counter as a over-the-counter medication. It should always be taken based on the prescription of your doctor or the advice of your doctor. Now, the second category of drugs that come into picture in this is the azilastin and the steroids, which are basically the fluticasone. Now, what exactly happens is this azilastin and the fluticasone spray or the fluticasone drops, what it does is it acts on the inflammation. Azilastin is an antihistaminic. What happens is that this reduces the inflammation. Both azilastin and fluticasone together reduces inflammation, and this reduction in inflammation, as you can refer to the start of the video, reduces the inflammatory reaction, which actually causes the blood vessels to ooze out mucus or ooze out more liquid. So it actually targets the inflammatory part of the nasal blockage. Now you can easily appreciate if you want a treatment for sinusitis and you're looking for a blocked nose treatment or you want an effective program, you should always refer to your practicing physician. However, the best strategy would be you take a normal saline drops or a xylometazoline drops just before steam inhalation. 10 minutes before steam inhalation, take a xylometazoline drops. Now what it will do is it will reduce the production of more mucus. But there is some mucus that remains to be cleared, which will clear out, and the nasal passage will be easy. Now, then you go ahead with steam inhalation. What steam inhalation would do is it will clear out the passage of all the allergens or the inflammatory substances or anything that is there, and it will also break out the mucus which is there in the sinuses causing your headache. Once you have done steam inhalation, the third step would be to take these azilastin and fluticasone spray. This azelastine and fluticasone spray will actually reduce the inflammatory reaction. So you effectively will not have a rebound congestion once the effect of xylometazoline is gone, because you have taken azelastine and fluticasone, which actually reduces the inflammatory reaction. But a strong disclaimer over here that what I am telling you over here is a general advice. It is not a medical advice and should not be used as a treatment. You should always refer to your practicing physician, who is your best guide, to prescribe you the treatment for a blocked nose or a symptomatic treatment for your blocked nose. You should refer to this video only for information, for understanding. And I hope you are able to understand what are the effects and how you can remove your blocked nose, or what are the scientific principles or the different kinds of nasal sprays and treatment opportunities for symptomatic relief of your blocked nose or a runny nose or a headache due to sinusitis or common cold. So I hope, friends, this video was useful for you to help you understand how you should treat your blocked nose. And yes, one more thing. When we take steam inhalation, you should also remember that steam inhalation is a particular step that should be done with one nostril closed, inhalation with one nostril, exhalation with the other nostril, then inhalation with this nostril, exhalation with the other nostril. So you do like this. This is how you should take steam inhalation. This opens up the complete channel in the nasal passage, and this is the best way to do steam inhalation rather than using both your nostrils for inhalation and exhalation. So friends, I hope this video was useful for you because it gave a general principle utility of the common cold and the common treatment modalities that you're using for common cold or blocked nose. If this video was useful and you liked it, please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to watch my next video. Thank you.